Hey, what's up guys, and welcome back to this YouTube channel. It's your guy Igor here. How to find a job in Canada in 2024 without Canadian work experience, or even if your English language is not up to the mark, if it's not good enough. I'll try to even speak slower in this video, but I cannot guarantee that. Guys, anyways, we'll be talking about the troubles of job search. What are the main problems for a new immigrant, newcomer to Canada to find a job? We'll look at methods of employment. We're going to look at what kind of jobs you can get without experience or without English. We'll also look at my first job in Canada. Then we'll also look at, where to find a job and how to search for it, methods. We'll look at how to write your resume. We'll look at how to pass your interview. We'll also talk about how to pass your reference check and where to get that. And finally, how this can help you with immigration. So this is a short snapshot of a video, so make sure you watch it till the end, share it with your friends, like and follow and subscribe, and let's begin. First thing is the problems. I don't have work experience in Canada, they won't hire me. That's a big problem, but there is a lot of Canadians sitting here with work experience who can't find a job. That's also a problem. Maybe the problem is they're not applying for right jobs, the ones that they qualified for or they fit for. Maybe there's too much of competition. Maybe everyone wants to sit in an office on a chair, drink a coffee, I have a coffee right there, and enjoy their work, talk with the colleagues, chit chat and have it easy. Maybe people just don't want to take difficult jobs right now, and you could get those ones. That's what I did. Anyways, no work experience and no language. That's another issue. I have a neighbor from Ukraine who just came to Canada. He's going on Friday classes in the evening and learning English. And he says, Igor, I'm really old. I'm too old for this nonsense. And it's very difficult for me. And he's like, it just doesn't go into my rusted head, this English words. And I'm really struggling. But I really want to stay in Canada for the better future of my kids. So, guys, if you don't have English, go for those free classes. Absolutely. Take advantage of it. Guys, you need it for IELTS, for your PR card. You still need it if you want to ever stay in Canada. Okay, guys, if you ever want to stay in Canada, you need English. And if you ever want to be successful in Canada, you cannot get your dream job without English. If you don't know English, you'll be dependent on your own community and probably taken advantage by your own community. I made a video about Ukrainians, scamming Ukrainians in Canada on my on this channel. And also made it in Russian language so that Ukrainians know about it too, because I really hate when people take advantage of you. If you don't know English, people will take advantage of you. They will make money off of you. It's not going to go into your pocket, it's going to go into somebody else's family's pocket. Because of that, just do it, learn it, guys. Next thing is methods of employment. So we have two, a contract basis and full-time. Okay, so I have people who are coming to me and they're like, hey, I'm working and I want to buy real estate. And then guess what? They don't know about it, but in their employment letter, it says contract. Here's the problem. If you're on a contract, number one, doesn't help with immigration, doesn't help you get experience that you need in Canada to qualify for different immigration programs. Number two, you cannot get a mortgage. Guys, if you don't believe me, call my wife. She's in Mumbai. She's from Mumbai originally, came as an international student to Canada, and now she's a mortgage broker with Realtors mortgages. Contacts in the description of this video. And yeah, she helps people get mortgages, and she'll tell you need a 2-year average of income. So even if you have your PR done, which it doesn't help you get, it doesn't help you with the mortgage, and you get probably higher interest rates, so all sorts of complications. And also, from my point, guys, I'm also self-employed. I'm a realtor with experience in Calgary, Alberta, and I pay my own taxes. So you'll be paying your own taxes. So you think you're paying and making a little bit more money, but in reality you're losing. You also don't get benefits. I pay over $250 for my benefits every month from my own pocket, because I'm self-employed. I don't have a company to provide it for me. I do it myself. I have my own policy. I literally call the Blue Cross, one of the companies, and that's where I have it. You can call whatever the company it is and get your own, but it sucks to be on the contract. You have way more benefits for a Canadian system in terms of credit building, buying homes, immigration, everything is full-time. So if you are working on a contract, you are at a disadvantage. So make sure they pay you accordingly, because probably after you pay your taxes, you're making less than you really expected. So just know the difference between full-time and contract, you don't get sick leaves, you don't get benefits, you don't get maternity leave, you don't get a bunch of nonsense you don't get. Maybe you can get some AI, there is some programs for that with the government, but you are basically missing out on a lot of stuff and a lot of benefits that you're not getting. So make sure you understand the difference between full-time employment and a contract. Next part. What kind of jobs can you get without the English language or without Canadian work experience? Guys, I didn't have work experience and everyone told me you will not get a job without work experience. I was in Toronto. I was a fool. I went to Toronto. I was dumb. I went where I was told, where all the immigrants are. You know, guys, there is like tens of thousands of Ukrainians right now who went on Kuwait visa and they're literally looking at each other like this. Why am I paying $3,000 rent? And why am I making this much of money? What kind of Canadian dream are we talking about? And why did I even come here? Well, because everyone knows Toronto. The people know Calgary, no. And now they start to know and everyone is flocking in here. But there's so many cities and provinces in Canada you can go to with way more opportunities, with less competition, more jobs and better pay. Alberta has more jobs and better pay and a bit better immigration programs. That's why I came here. And I ended up staying here. I could never go back to Toronto. But anyways, guys, don't make mistakes like this. So anyways, what kind of jobs can you get? Well, I got a job in a warehouse. I was working for $10.25 an hour, minimum wage, through a contract basis. And guess what, guys? Oh my goodness, that hell, I was eating dust and eating my own sweat, unloading boxes coming from Indonesia, coming from China, coming from India, to a Nike warehouse, and it sucked. I was afraid every single day because they were firing people. Every day you would get new people, and I wanted to stay. I wanted to pass at least a probation, even though I'm on a contract, and they literally didn't pay me anything. It's continuous fear and sweat. They're like, I worked the hardest for the least amount of money in my life. It's ironically, later on in Canada, you change jobs and you end up working less for more. Isn't it strange how it works? You literally work more for less in Canada. So you, in the end, but helped me get an experience. And my next job was $17.5, and then my next job was $20, and that a job that was already at a good range. I believe I was making like 21 or something. I don't remember exactly. It was back then when I was getting my immigration done. And guess what? It was full time. That a contract job for 3 months helped me out, save up a little bit of money. Can you imagine? I was living on 1025, renting a bedroom in a 3-bedroom condo with another Ukrainian and one Russian guy together, putting money together. And I was even sending some money to Ukraine, and I was to help out my parents. And I was like literally, guys, surviving again. And I was able to save money to fly to Calgary, and I was renting a bed in a basement, and then guys, so basically lots of things changed over the time, and finally I'm where I am. But it was all a process, so don't expect to get a really great job. Yes, I did master's degree in Ukraine. Yes, I did my 2-year college degree in Canada. Nobody told me that it was just a rip-off and it is not going to help me really find a job without Canadian work experience. So you have to do what you have to do and never be embarrassed of yourself. So how much money can you make on those jobs? So if you're working in the warehouse, you're looking around $19 per hour. If you work in construction, $20 plus. Guys, oh my goodness, I don't like construction. I also don't like it. Guys, right now, actually, because I did some construction, I'm really good in real estate. I know way more than realtors who have not been in construction. I know how the things are built here. I know what materials are used. I know what's inside those walls. Or you don't want to know what's inside the houses in Canada. It's literally paper houses. But anyways, all of this, guys, it helped me in the end, in the future career, in miraculous ways. I had no idea that it's going to work out like that, and it helped me become what I am right now, 12 years into being in Canada, a real estate agent. So yes, I did some really bad jobs. My parents looked down at me and they were like, why are you doing this trash jobs, and go get an office job? You like, your education is that and that. But it helped me get my immigration done and permanent residency through full time. It helped me in the end get a mortgage. It helped me move up in life. It helped me with a lot of things. And even when I got laid off, I was getting employment insurance. So there is lots of benefits of working full time, and never be disgusted of your first job in Canada. Guys, I was cleaning dust. At some point I was cleaning toilets. I was taken advantage of, and I was even verbally abused in my first jobs in Canada. But let's not talk about negative. Now, what was my first job in Canada? Like I told you, this is I already skipped into that part. I was working in a warehouse for a minimum wage in Scarborough, Ontario, eating dust and a continuous fear. Then I finally came here. I got a job in Sears, and I didn't even pass my probation. They went out of business so fast. So yeah, they kind of said I don't fit into the corporate culture, and they fired me when I came to work, and they went out of business. I'm so happy. Those assholes, they did this to me, and then this happened to them. Well, I knew it was coming because the company was a complete mess. And yeah, and I was too educated for that, and I brought it up on the meeting, and they really didn't like it. And then they let me go after that. Well, they don't like people who speak, and it's too bad for them. They're gone because they don't like they are not competitive in Canada, and that's why they're gone. They're out of business now here. No more Sears. Anyways, and I'm kind of happy about it because of the fact that I was trying to bring up, and they were like, be quiet, you're new and you shouldn't be speaking up. Done. So next is how to find a job in Canada. Guys, there is a plan, first of all, online. I'll tell you conventional and unconventional ways. First of all, online. There are plenty of websites like workopolis.ca, you know, Indeed.ca, Job Bank. LinkedIn is one of the best sources ever to find a job. Make sure you're up to date on all of your social media platforms. Like, don't have your picture of there drinking beer and or drunk on a table like some people do. You have to be super professional on your LinkedIn because they will check even if you just submit your resume. So submitting your resumes. Next part is about Facebook groups. Do help you find a job, but be careful of your own people. Sometimes they cheat you and they underpay you, but it can help you. Different Facebook groups could help you find a job in Canada. I say church. I put a church here because a lot of Ukrainians coming through Kuwait are going to Ukrainian Saint Volodymyr Church, and they get their jobs there because of the Ukrainians trying to help each other out. Sometimes taking advantage too, but they do try to do that in churches. Go to your local mosque if you're a Muslim. Go to a church if you're Christian. Go to your local temple. I don't know if Indian people do that. You tell me. But guys, go to if you're a Punjabi, go to some Punjabi gatherings, whatever you have, like temples, everything. Like, go into your community halls and start networking. It's just like back home. It's also another part is, next point is networking. What is networking? People say, oh, build your credit, business cards, volunteer, do networking. Nobody tells you what it is. It's basically relationship building. Okay, you have to network the way you can network. If it means going and drinking beer with your friends just to build a good relationship, then that's networking. Just you know, don't become an addict. You know, there is lots of networking, and everything in Canada actually is through networking. One of my jobs I got through networking. I had a guy who recommended me to the director of operations, who hired me bypassing the HR, because HR would have definitely slammed me with their nonsense questions and you know, their lack of knowledge of industry, and them thinking that they're really good in hiring people, and in reality they're just afraid to hire the wrong person. But a lot of times they don't know what they're doing. But anyways, if you are from HR, sorry, I just have personal grudge with some HR people, and that personal grudge might be transferred into entire occupation, which is a personal bias. It's not good, but sorry, I don't like HR. I really had lots of problems in Canada with HR. Let me explain to you on the interview section of this video where I had the problems. Now let's talk about how to make a Canadian resume. First of all, I'm going to tell you what not to do on your Canadian resume. I'm going to help you out is what to do. Don't put your passport number. Guys, I have people emailing me on this channel their resume saying, hey sir, I need a job in Canada, here's my passport number, copy of the passport, ID, how many daughters they have, you know, their kids, pregnant, age, things like that. So guys, in Canada there is a big thing not to discriminate people, and there is a discrimination based on race, on gender, on age, and a bunch of other things. I can go through the entire human charter here, but anyways, so if you put that information, you might be a perfect fit. But if the government suspects that you were hired just because you were a white Caucasian man of a certain age and you got a job, Some people might say, well, they hired him because of that and they disqualified me because of that. So they might just delete your resume. So if you have that, make sure you don't have that in your resume. Don't put your picture, because they can just look at your picture and say, oh, I like this guy, and oh, I don't like this guy. They have to look only at your skills that you have in your experience and then interview you. They can do that bias later on during the interview if they want to. Doesn't happen? I'm sure it does. It's Canada. It happens. We are all humans. They're never going to say it because they don't want to get sued. But yeah, if you have those things, you might be a perfect fit, but you just blacklisted yourself, got deleted from the system because you mentioned something wrong on your resume. Now, how to write a resume? Just Google Western Standard Canadian resume. There are a bunch of examples. Everyone on YouTube already talked about it, and also there's a bunch of videos specifically for that. It's probably in your own language. If you speak Punjabi, there might be a video for that already by some Punjabi YouTuber, and there might be already video from a Ukrainian YouTuber if you speak Ukrainian or Russian. So it is already there. I don't want to go into details of it, but just Google and you'll see a lot of examples how it's done for free. And there are some classes that you can go, workshops in Calgary, that you can go and get yourself trained and educated how it's done. Now also how to pass the interview. Well, it is, I hate HR. I don't like it, because you go for an interview in Canada and they're like, yeah, it's been awesome meeting you. Pleasure. You did such a great job. You walk out, you're like, well, I think I got a job. Hello? Let's try emailing them. No response. Calling them. No response. A month later, oh, we found a better candidate. What? Okay, thank you so much for your kindness. You didn't even tell me why you don't like me. How can I improve on my next interview? What I did wrong? You didn't like my tie? You didn't like my shirt? Like, was my hand too sweaty when I shook your hand? Like, like what? Why? Why did you not hire me? They won't tell you. And it's Canadian politeness, and I don't like it. You know, I went to an interview in Ukraine. The guy said, I don't like you. I don't think you're experienced. You're too young. And we need somebody more mature for this role. Sorry. And I was like, well, at least I know it's not my fault that I don't look according to that person's taste, and probably I would want to work with that person anyway, so thank you, bye. Way better, way more sincere. Next part is about how to pass this interview. So how do you pass that interview? Is there are a bunch of questions. They literally, HR people go by the template. They don't write things down themselves. You can Google what are the templates, what kind of questions they ask, and you can practice at answering those questions from what kind of challenging situations you faced in your previous experience. Tell me about yourself, and you can prepare those answers ahead of time so that they'll be, you know, like they would know you prepared them, but they would also know that you prepared them. So it's a good thing that you were prepared. It's a plus for you, regardless of how you put it or during your interview, and it can help you. I was trying to be super cheerful. I was trying to impress a person at the door, a cleaner, everyone, like anyone. I was trying to show that I'm a great fit for my interview, and I ended up going and getting a job in oil and gas at some point. So that was awesome. Next part is reference check. Guys, if you don't speak English or you don't have any experience, ask for your professors, if you are an international student, to give you a reference check from your friends. Guys, in Canada, it's illegal to give bad reference check. So literally, if you put me for your reference check, guys, don't do that, because there'll be too many of you doing that, and I won't be able to even answer so many phone calls. But anyways, they are not allowed to legally give a bad reference check, because you can take them to court. If they gave a bad reference check about you, you can take them to court and you can sue them for the amount of money. So legally in Canada, people are not allowed to give bad references check. That would make you lose a job. If that's the reason and you can prove it in court, they are, they're screwed. So that's one thing you should know about Canadian legislation. But reference check is just fine. Get a buddy who speaks fluent English, they understand everything, and who you can trust and who are good at speaking, and they can just give that, yeah, you're an honest person, you're always on time, you're great, you're responsible, blah blah blah. And you know, like somebody that you can trust. It's not going to be like, hey, yeah, this guy is always late on time, never keeps up to his word, never comes to his promises, and blah blah blah. And you know, you don't want some reference check like that. I'm just saying, it's not legal, but how are you going to prove that that happened? That's another question. Now also, how to finish your immigration through working in Canada. Final point of this video is make sure that whatever job you have is building up enough of Canadian experience necessary for your immigration program that you are planning to apply later on. If it's a federal program, like through express entry, or is it a provincial program? Is it a federal pilot program, or is it a provincial program? Whichever program you want to make sure you get the experience needed. That's how I got my immigration done in Canada. I ended up finding a job that helped me build enough Canadian work experience. I needed 1 year of Canadian work experience in order for me to qualify for what is it called, Canadian experience class, right? So through express entry, and I went through that program. I also applied through Alberta AINP program at that time, but that one took 2 years. It was faster through express entry. I ended up getting my permanent resident through express entry. So if you don't know what to do, book a consultation with immigration consultant. I don't do consultations for immigration, but book a consultation, figure out what works best for you, and search for those kind of jobs. Make sure they're full-time, and it will help you with immigration. Guys, I hope this video covers a lot of things. I want you to ask me questions. Share this video with your friends and family members and to anyone who it can be helpful, and ask me more questions, and I'll try to do my best to make a video answering your question. I hope this video is really helpful for you guys, and I wish you all the best in Canada. And by the way, guys, I'm a realtor. My wife is a mortgage broker. You know the contacts in the description of this video. Feel free to reach me out if you have any real estate questions. See you soon, and I'll see you in Canada. Bye for now.